think for us to understand FS, we'll need to break it up into different financial services is very, very broad. So there are banks, there are NBFCs, there are insurance companies, and there are mutual funds. Then there are fintech players which are there. So of all the players, I would say banks have been amongst, and me being a banker myself for more than 20 years, we are one of the most lazy guys, and because of the credit, and we have seen customers coming in to us, and we engaging with customer in a more of a physical network in the past 20 years or so. But some of the other companies, especially the sectors around insurance, and we heard Prashant talking about how insurance is using some of the AIs to actually work on building up the entire claim processing, or whether how much insurance premium should be there. The entire actual calculations are based on a lot of lot of intelligence, so to say. And I'm sure they are building up more and more data, which has been done around insurance. Mutual funds and some of the other companies have been using it quite extensively. We have seen some of the digital lending companies who have come up, who are using data, not only data from the financial data which they get from the customer, but also data which is available in the ecosystem through credit rating agencies or rating agencies, or people have started to use a lot of social data which is available on various Facebook and other social mediums per se. So a lot of that data has also started to be used in many digital fintech companies. But coming to banks, because I refer more on banks, so we have seen with the advent of financial technologies companies, the fintech companies, banks have also progressively started using more AI extensively, especially on the retail side. So we divide the bank more on the wholesale as well as we divide it on the retail side. So on the retail side, we have seen the usage of extensively on, especially on credit cards, the debit card usage or expense patterns which have been come up. So if you look at any bank app, you will see the bank app covers almost everything within the financial services domain. So you can buy mutual funds, you can do buy insurance, you can actually track your expenses, you can track your credit card spends, you can track by categories, it also signals whether you are exceeding your budget. So budgetary controls have been also put in by some of the banks, some of the fintech companies. So a lot of AI is getting driven, as I mentioned in my earlier discussion, was it is driven around the fact of the consumer insight, and the banks are focusing more on the millennials which are becoming part of the banking ecosystem, and they want to try out everything on mobile app. None of them want to actually visit a branch now. So the extension of the branch model is coming more on the digital side in a very big way. So a lot of AI tools banks are developing, especially on the consumer behavior. And banks, I would say, financial services were one of the early movers on AI because of the financial transactions, and with the advent of fintech, digital wallet, and other companies in the last 10 years, how we can use them in terms of location wise, which location is doing better. And it actually takes into account the government data which is also available in that location: number of ATMs, number of post office, number of people taking NREGA, number of people who are hospitals are there. So all of data, that data gets accumulated, and we are able to know that this is a GDP data which is there, that this geography seems to be better. And then we see our performance vis-a-vis that geography and try to look alike in other parts of the country where similar data is available, how we can build up our ecosystem. So a lot of those things, a chatbot is another big example which banks have been using. Whether you name any big bank, they started chatbot many years back, and a lot of reworking has happened on the chatbot ecosystem. Banks over the years have actually refined basis the communication they are doing with the people on the chatbot. So we are also tied up with the exponential apps on some of the chatbot discussions. In fact, our chatbot is called No Fee. So and that's what we are trying to focus on.